So let's bring the brother up. Buddy, can you see that?
Yep.
Perfect. All right. So my brother, right? This is everything's blocked off except your ascendant, right? And the planet that's in the ascendant. And I did that for a very specific reason, right? And you'll see why in a minute. Okay. But the most fundamental thing to know, right? In any chart, anything that you look at as far as astrology is concerned, the first thing you want to know is the ascendant, because the ascendant, it locks in what your karma is, right? And this is based on the time, it's based on the date, it's based on the place, right? This astrology is much different, as you know, right? Because in what we study, we have different forms of astrology that we use. It's not common, right, to the regular person. But right, this form and most forms, right, you want to start with the body first, right? The physical vehicle, which is the ascendant, right? It's not just the physical vehicle, right? The ascendant kind of sets up the cascade of events that happen in your life, because from that point, right, that's when everything begins to really, it's your entry into this particular plane of existence, right? So the ascendant is crucial in understanding who you are. Now, it's kind of odd that we actually had a show, just last show, talking about the age of Taurus. Right? Because this is what your ascendant is. Right now, the beautiful thing about, and I'm sorry, did you have some? Let me know if you got something to say, or if you got something to some gems to drop. Because we definitely, I'm all ears.
Nah, I'm all ears at this point right now.
All right, my brother. So the first thing we understand is that the Taurian nature, the Taurian kind of envelope, right, is what you're encapsulated in this particular life, right, in this incarnation. And so Taurus, right, typically, and this is the strange thing, well, this is the beautiful thing about this science, is that we have different understandings of the signs, right? We don't have just a kind of blanket where, one size fits all type deal. Taurus is Taurus and that's it, right? We have a system that we use called nakshatras, right? Which really delineate and harness the specific pieces and portions of Taurus that give us different results. The reason why I say that is because most of the time when we talk about Taurus, you're looking at somebody physically that's pretty stocky, right? That's pretty, well built, right? Broad shoulders, right? Big back, right? Huge kind of solid arms, typical bull kind of figure, right? But that's not all Tauruses. Some Tauruses are thinner, right? Some Tauruses are bulky. Some Tauruses are kind of even middle between lean and bulky. It just depends. Well, the thing is that the degree that you're born under, right, is 3 degrees Taurus, right? So 3 degrees Taurus, right, gives us a specific portion of Taurus, which is called Kritika. And Kritika is ruled by the sun, right? Now, Kritika, right, is kind of, words that like critique, right, critical, right, things like that. That kind of comes out of that particular kind of vernacular, if you will. It's connected in some way. And Kritika can be intense in regards to their disposition, their focus, their drive, their ambition, right? Because Kritika is that part of the bull that's literally the horns, right? Right. So, right, that part of you is now not the bulky part, but the thin, compact, right, fiery aspect of the bull, right?
Okay.
And so when you begin to understand that, right, it's also connected to the star Aldebaran, right, which is the eye of the bull, which is red, right? So, right, that heat, that energy that's produced by the co-ruler, and each nakshatra has a co-ruler. It has the main ruler, which is, of course, Venus, but also has a co-ruler, which is the sun. And that sun heats you up. It literally gives you ability to do penance, right? The ability to make sacrifices, the ability to change your diet, right? Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because, right, when you get that intensity, that the bull, remember, it's a bull. So it's not going to stop until it gets done. Right. It's relentless. right? So that part of the bull is what gives you the ability to make those cuts. In fact, Kritika is known for cutting. Now, here's the crazy thing about it.
Mm.
Kritika, right, is also known for, guess what? Cooking, right? Right. Isn't that wild, right? Yeah, right. Kritika is known, right, for cooking. Purification doesn't mean just in the sense of, being able to change, negative habits and put things in proper perspective, energetically speaking, but also it means the ability to take something that is actually raw and turn it into something that is refined. Remember, Taurus is ruled by Venus, which refines things, right?
Yeah.
And so, right, cooking is an art, right, which is also ruled by, you know who, right?
Yeah.
Venus. So these things, right, come natural to you, right? It took you a while, right? Right, because of certain things that happen, right? One of the things that we know in this system is that when the 10th Lord, right, and I won't get too deep into your chart, but when the 10th Lord has a certain position, sometimes it takes time for that person to find, right, their calling, right? And so these are all time-based mechanisms, right? You were too early to find it then, but you found it at the right time during the period that unlocked that particular experience, right? With the food, learning, gaining knowledge. Now, here's the beautiful part. The reason why I kept Jupiter there is because Jupiter is at 2 degrees in your ascendant, right? So 3 degrees to 2 degrees is a degree and some change, right?
All right.
So that literally calls forth for you to literally look for knowledge that's about nourishment, right? Kritika, again, is where Jupiter is placed, right? So now also the knowledge is going to be around specifically cooking, the art of being a chef, right? Because you cook, you're going to cut something, right? And that cutting, right, is where that particular knowledge comes through, right? That particular Kritika is where the knowledge is actualized, right? Through Jupiter. Because remember, Jupiter represents what? Knowledge, right?
Okay.
So this knowledge is birthed to you, right? It's your birthright to go through this process, to learn this, to be able to give it to people, to be able to help people, right, through this particular challenge or change that they go through by giving your own, right, fiery energy to their disposition, right, giving your own, right, spin on veganism so that you can literally say, you know what, this is my way. Let me go ahead and give you a piece of who I am. And literally people, right, when they taste it, I'm sure that heteru hits them hard. And they be like, whoa, right? What's this?
Right.
He said facts, yeah.
Right? So that's just a tidbit, right? To give you, right? I don't know how far you want to go, right? But that's kind of just to show you that just the ascendant alone, there's other things in your chart that show this, right? But the ascendant alone, right, shows exactly what you're doing at this point in time.
Nah, I mean that's deep. It never been explained to me in the nature. I'm thankful. And I'm eager to learn more. I mean, we don't have to dissect the whole thing over here. But man, that's. I'm speechless at this point right now.
Yeah. And the whole thing is when you went through that period that literally caused you to detach, right? That period is called a dasha, and that dasha is like a chapter, right? That your karma plays out in. In that chapter, you were in what we call a Wachet period, right? Or a K2 period. And when K2, Wachet, or Oya comes out, things automatically, what do they do? Boom, right? 180 degrees, right? Well, K2's in your 4th house of being content, of being satisfied, right? The 4th house is also where you eat, right? It's your home. So literally when you went through that K2 dasha or that K2 karmic period, or the period that literally talks about detachment and reorientation of your whole life, right? that's when it happened, right? And the thing is that because Ketu's in the 4th, Rahu goes to the 10th. So literally the detachment that you had to your upbringing, right? Your home up, like, cause I'm sure you in Louisiana, brother, I know, right? That is serious business, right? Right. Food is next to God out there, right? So, you know what I mean? You know, that was a major change. But what it did was Ketu detaching you from your home upbringing, right? Your regular kind of cocoon-like existence to the 10th house of now making it a career, and a career that literally challenges kind of the status quo as far as food and diet is concerned. So